Hi, I'm Rachel from Life on the Wedge, and I'm really excited to be the Blogger of the Month for Blogging ME. Well, I've always been a journalist. I've always written for a career. It's always been involved in my career, but I found that I was kind of losing my creativity a little bit. I think it's wondering whether or not you're actually writing things that are interesting to people. I really sometimes think I'm in my own, I grew up an only child, I'm in my own head a lot of the time, and I think I'm hilarious. But, sometimes I think, is someone actually reading? Is someone actually interested? Is my mother even reading it? So I think that that's one of the challenges. The other one is coming up with stuff on a regular basis. I'll go through, last year I took maybe 2 or 3 months off, and I think that's really important to keep the sort of momentum going on it. But every so often you need to take a step away and a break, because it does become formulaic, after a while. And also you kind of lose interest in it as well. I think that we've spent a lot of time as a food blogger and as a society, we kind of deify chefs. So I really loved meeting Gordon Ramsay and had the opportunity to interview him and spend some time with him. And he's at least 3 times now, and he's not the kind of crazy, insane person that you think he is. He's actually quite charming and quite good looking in real life. So I really enjoyed that. And being a home chef myself, I thought that was a pretty cool thing to do. I also met Eric Lenlard, who's a very famous dessert chef and a bit of a cupcake king. And even though I'm not into sweets, it was really great to meet him because he actually is very similar to his persona. But what I also liked is just I just enjoy meeting different people and people who are really passionate about what they do. So whether it be the guy cooking in the little dumpling shop in Shanghai or Gordon Ramsay, I think I've really enjoyed meeting all those people and hearing their stories and finding out where they come from and what influences them. Content is king. I'm a great believer in that, or queen, however you want to do it. But I think that a lot of, particularly bloggers and maybe the Instagrammers and tweeters, spend a lot of time worrying about followers. But for me, it's all about whether or not the content is engaging at the end of the day. You would originally say Twitter, but in the last 12 months I've really discovered Instagram, and I really enjoy that. It's really made me think about putting words with pictures, so it takes me back to my journalistic roots, so to speak. I don't have a problem with it as long as you're transparent about what you do. I'm very clear about who my partners are and about people who I have collaborations with on my blog. I just think that it is a new medium and it is a new way to express ourselves and a new way to reach more people. So you can understand why brands and companies and organisations want to connect with bloggers. I just think that as long as you're really clear about it and that your reader knows what it's about, because the lines between advertising and content, truly uniquely generated content, are blurring so much. So I think that as long as you're upfront about it and your readers know what they're reading and that you're getting paid for that or getting something in kind, then I think it's okay. I think that the first thing is I've got a bit of a niche, and I've been here a long time. I've been here 8 years, and I've been on the scene for 8 years, particularly the food scene for 8 years, so people know me. So I think relationship building is really important, and that's what I've really put a lot of time into. Building your credibility is important. I think that there's a lot of people that maybe don't really understand that whole concept of having credibility, of being upfront about the relationship that you have, particularly with, a restaurant or an organisation or a hotel. Just keeping the content going and keeping the content fresh. There's no point having a blog that you update maybe once a month or once every 2 months. So having a blogging schedule, I could be a little bit better at that. But also just being engaging and being a little bit different. I think that's a really important thing. I really like Foodiva out of Dubai. I think that she's really established herself there and really done some interesting things. I really like Bull and Jerry, who's my colleague here and often my partner in crime. He does a lot of desserts, but also is a food blogger and likes dining out as well. I also follow a lot of, believe it or not, a lot of fashion blogs. So I like Weisha's World. She's a fantastic blogger out of Dubai, has a lot of really sort of funky and cutting edge stuff. I've really seen an explosion, particularly in the food area, of bloggers in recent times. It's always been a very strong fashion scene and lifestyle scene. But for food, it's probably come ahead in the last 12 to 18 months. So I'm seeing a lot more collaboration, a lot more networking and interest with each other. But what is really interesting for me is that the brands, the hotels, because we all know that's what food is about here, hotels and also the smaller independent operators are realising the value of bloggers. So they're kind of viewing us as traditional media, as they have previously as traditional media. So we're seeing a lot more blogger events where people are being invited along as bloggers and tweeters. I'm hoping, at the moment that's still in its very formative stages, but I'm hoping it gets a little bit more sophisticated down the track, because at the moment it's a little bit a pretty picture on Instagram or a really positive tweet, but actually there's, down the track you've got to learn how to deal with the negativity that comes with that as well. But we're in the infancy of that, and we're seeing a lot more people getting a lot more interested and a lot more involved, and that's always a good thing.